Welcome to Natasha's Creative Wellness, where I do things a little bit differently. Not quite getting the results that you want in the gym? Well, the year 2024 is very near, so it may be in the minds of many of you. So here's my little spiel as a personal trainer of 9 years. There are no one-size-fits-all plan that works for literally every single person on this planet when it comes to fitness and health. We are not robots, and our actions do not exactly play out like numbers programmed in an Excel spreadsheet. There are gray areas to weed through. Ultimately, you are going to take care the most about your own results. So the more willing you are to not only figure out what the best route for you is, you have to take accountability for how you're going to execute your plan, regardless if the plan needs reworking as you just start. If you don't just get up and go, you're just going to limit yourself by having that chance. Us humans are similar, and we create similarities with each other when it comes to our goals. Most people want to look good and feel better. You can create and find all kinds of workouts and plans out there, and these are all great because we do need plans to become organized and accomplish little goals we otherwise would not have bothered to do, as we would naturally just go back to our comfortable habits and procrastinate what we internally desire as time passes by. I've been training clients for about 9 years now, literally from December 2014 until December 2023 and ongoing. I've trained mostly the general population, most of whom are either trying to lose weight, gain muscle, feel confident in the weight room, as the weight area can be intimidating in the beginning. I've helped a lot with form corrections, as many people need constant reminders as it hasn't become muscle memory. I've also coached nutrition behavior changes and awarenesses, although for most, the food change is the hardest. Diet habits are really big, not only to the physical side of yourself, but for your insides, organ, skin, your brain, your mental health. I found that the majority who end up being successful in their weight loss or weight gain journey, muscle gain journey, are the ones who stuck with training for the long term. So they were held accountable and constantly pushed themselves. At the very least, it helped them show up on the days that they were scheduled, as the consequence is basically losing money for not showing up. I don't know that many people who enjoy just wasting their money by just not showing up. Over time, their extra workout days that I assigned to them became a habit. Later on, in various waves, they made new heights, new strides to their nutrition habits, their motivation levels, their form, etc. Every person was different, and the rates of their intensity and readiness for change were also different. The people who improved the most in a shorter period of time made a choice of one or two specific habit changes while being held accountable, made the biggest progress over time. These changes have to be realistic for you, not someone else. You and what you need to get done on a daily basis. When can you fit this in? What is realistic for you? Think about it a day before and make the time. Otherwise, you can't expect too much too soon. Otherwise, you'll end up quitting. You don't expect a toddler to get their PhD next week, right? Well, set realistic expectations of yourself, even if you're not conformed into like this age bracket where you're forced to keep up and compete with yourselves when you're just like spread out into the whole world of a bigger group. Don't expect every day you're going to feel like it. You definitely won't. But I hope you brush your teeth and shower pretty much every day, right? It's kind of the same with working out and eating better. Just try. And once you arrive to the gym, sometimes it takes like 10-15 minutes to just start getting into it. If you don't go, then you've just limited yourself by not progressing by a day and another week. And, you could have lost 10% body fat within 6 months if you actually stay consistent and gave it, your full effort. It's important to know what the right balance is for you to make an exercise challenging, yet doable. It's like moms and grandmas who cook everything without a recipe, or this can go for anyone who has this talent. You don't have to be a grandma or a woman. Just they're able to eyeball it and taste it based on the size of the dish that they're making, and they can just wing it and it tastes good. This idea is similar to our bodies. The majority is not starting off as an Olympian, okay? Take it easy on yourself, and everyone has to have their own little mixture of their own personal recipe. Many people have bodies with slightly different proportions. We have long torso, short legs with long torso, top heavy people, bottom heavy people, stiff hips, stiff ankles, weak core, injuries. People whose jobs have mummified them into intense, fixated positions, like surgeons operating for four plus hours and hunched down. We have office workers sitting all day and their entire backside of their body needs strength training. You may be someone with injuries to work around with, like scoliosis, herniated discs, post knee or shoulder surgeries, etc. If you've had to go through that, then your movement may have limits and you have to work around that. Finding what you can stick with the longest while improving technique and while creating a bit of prolonged challenge, but doable, is really important. The recipe will not always be about increasing the weight to success or to burn more fat or reshape body composition. We do need to increase weight at times to challenge ourselves, but your body isn't going to max out all the time. It really takes a long time to improve like that. I like to think of using weights as a tool to get the results that you want. The formula will be a little bit different for a sprinter compared to a marathon runner, or a power lifter compared to a bodybuilder. They have a little bit different goals, so the process is a little bit different. This is where finding the right exercises that work for you during this time period is how you're able to take those baby steps without embarrassment to improve your strength, endurance, coordination abilities, etc. At this time is what's going to help you stay motivated and feel confident enough to enjoy the process. I personally respect members of the gym who actually try to perform a movement correctly and drop the weight a little bit instead of trying to go too heavy when they're not ready yet and their form gets compromised. It takes more individual strength to show themselves that they're willing to do things the right way and not in a fast, kind of egotistical way. The saying goes, health is wealth. If you have no health, you can't enjoy anything as you feel that pain and misery of not feeling that great every single day. You probably normalized it if you haven't changed lifestyle habits, so you've forgotten or never known what it feels like to feel good, more confident, less tired, or worry a tad bit less about serious health issues later on when you're working on prevention. Taking preventative action by sticking with a challenging workout plan, making improvements to your nutrition habits for a better quality of life. It's like a healthy escape, but it's a healthy habit. Another reason why you might not be seeing progress in the gym is maybe you need to tweak your form. So to me, form is so important. Maybe it's because I have 16 years of ballet background. I was never a professional dancer, but growing up with this foundation, I have to say that it trained me consistently for many hours a week for almost all of those years on how important form is, as well as following a rhythm to music. So there was a mixture of fast and slow tempos. You focused on your individual improvement, yet you were part of a bigger group. And you competed against that group, yet you also didn't want to mess up the performance. So it's almost like bodybuilding in a way. We can also look at this like cars, for example, as a metaphor. I'm not a car person, so my car language is not going to be that great. It's super basic, but just try and comprehend the metaphor. So you can perform like a Flintstones car back in the Stone Age. And if you don't know that cartoon, I'm old, okay? So just Google it if you're really young and you're watching this video. Or you can be a NASCAR racer with like a turbo engine. So there's these two extremes and there's all the gray area in between. But you can't just put a NASCAR engine into the shell or build of a Flintstones car. That frame may not hold the force of this NASCAR engine. Or if the shape of the car was like a square, do you expect the box-shaped car to actually tolerate the capability of a NASCAR engine with a square design without flipping over? I don't think the NASCAR engine would even want to be in a square car because it limits its potential and it would get a little bit fed up with it eventually. It won't be able to go as fast as it could in a car that was designed for speed. But basically, you can have the best and fastest engine in the world, but if it's not a match or it is not compatible with what is realistic to the frame or compatibility of the body of that car, then it's just not going to work. So it's just like finding the right program for you. Finding a program that actually suits your body, fixes your personal corrections that you need in order to do the movement correctly and not just get a workout in or sweat, is going to probably take you to the next level if you're not seeing results. Thinking back to the human body, you have to slowly reshape and remold the body to come closer to being able to hold strong to that engine that you want to eventually become. These two have to slowly become a match to perform at an efficiency level where you can burn more fat faster, as well as get away with some cheat foods. The further your body is from being a performing, burning machine, the less forgiving it is and the more effort you have to give for a prolonged period of time. And if you choose to stay stuck as a square car and have a temper tantrum, or simply give up and not even try to chip away with other tools that you could use to progress to success, like nutrition or cutting down on alcohol, or getting up and walking more, stepping it up another notch, increasing the weight, upping the intensity or the frequency per week, then you'll just have to put up with being a square and never allowing yourself that chance to be molded and shaped over time like an artist who works with clay. You have to have patience to actually progress to the next level that you want and desire. Instead of quitting and thinking that this is not working for you, you have to switch to a different activity. You didn't really give it a good, long, effort, full chance. So in a nutshell, you can have the best programs in the world, but if you're not performing at the level of what that program was intended, your form may need improvement. That may be something that is holding you back in your progress. Simply sweating and working out may not be the same as consciously focusing on what muscles you're working, for example. At least you're working out if you're already going to the gym, but if you're not getting the results you're hoping for, you have to look at what you're not doing or what you've overlooked. Sometimes we just get in our own way and we have blinders on. We have good intentions, we try, but we don't see ourselves all the time, so we can't, be aware about some things that we just don't see. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And sometimes that same thing isn't always about changing the tool we use to get there. It's how we use the tool and if we were using it properly. It's almost like Ariel and the bird gave her a fork as a hairbrush when it was never intended to be used as a hairbrush. Now you could kind of get away with using a fork as a hairbrush, but it was just not going to be efficient and it was just not used. So I hope this video helped you, or at least one of you. If you like my content, which will be a mix of wellness overall, or different tools, techniques, outlooks, creative approaches, astrology, probably some gym videos, to help make yourself more aware, please subscribe as it helps my channel and the algorithm reach more people. Share it with people who you may think may benefit this, maybe your girlfriend, maybe your kids. But other than that, hopefully I will see you next time. I'm trying to make this part of my year 2024 habit as I kind of touch base on this YouTube platform a little bit And just over the past 4 months, I've gotten at least some views, and so that kind of helps me feel more motivated to make more videos, try to get more equipment, and um, just improve on my end. So like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.